Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball, live here from sunny Tampa, Florida. Up in the Donaldson deck, my name is Charlie Brigham, alongside me, Kelin Flynn, and we are so excited to get the 2022 season kicked off. Michigan coming off a hot year last year, Big Ten championship. This is a little bit of a disappointing ending to the season in the divisional round, but should be a great year.
Yeah, really excited for the season and for what the Wolverines have in store for us. 4 games that we'll be calling down here in Tampa. Really excited to just get this season underway, and a lot of softball ahead of us, but I think everyone's ready for that.
Before we get into any of the action, we would just like to thank you all for tuning in and listening and supporting WCBN Sports. This trip down to Tampa for the USF-Rawlings Invitational has been a staple of our coverage for the past few years, and it wouldn't be possible without all of your love and support, so we'd like to thank you for that. And with that, we're going to get right into things as the throwdown comes. It's going to be Michigan up first. Leading off, it's going to be Lexi Blair. Batting second, Christina Burkhart. In the 3-hole, Taylor Bump. Batting cleanup, Hannah Carson. Batting fifth, Lexi Voss. Sixth, Lauren Essman. Batting seventh, Ellie Sealer. Batting eighth, Annabelle Wedra. Batting ninth, Ella McVeigh. And starting on the bump for your Michigan Wolverines is going to be Megan Bobian. We are set to go. The Maize and Blue faithful packing out the stadium, and we are just moments away from the first pitch of the 2022 softball season for the Michigan Wolverines. Blair stands tall in that left-handed batter's box. First pitch on the way from Hovland. That one a little high out of the zone, ball 1. Looking back at last season, Lexi Blair was, about as good as they come. 406 average, led the team in doubles, runs scored, hits. Pretty much every major offensive category, Lexi Blair was up in the conversation. Is pitch number 2 on the way from Hovland. The windup. That one catches the outside corner of the plate, so we're even back out 1-1.
Yeah, Blair obviously one of the biggest contributors in the batting department for the Wolverines, and she'll look to lead that way again. But obviously the dominant pitching of the Wolverines is the real story.
Corners up, middle playing back. The 1-1 on the way to Blair. This one, big swing down the line, and they're going to call it foul. Lexi had at least 2 out of the box, if not more. But instead, she's going to reset to a 1-2 count.
That one just roped outside that foul line. Thought she might catch a little bit of the chalk there.
The first baseman, Caitlin Garcia, had a shot at it, but just a little bit too hot to handle. The veteran Blair will settle back in. 1-2 pitch on the way from Hovland. The windup. This one fouled back our way. Hits the net right in front of us, and will drop down to our left-hand side.
Thought I might have a chance at that one.
Almost made its way over the top of the net. It was making its way over. Blair doing a nice job fighting things off here. 1-2 count still. Standing tall over there in the on-deck circle is Christina Burkhart. 1-2 pitch way high up near the eyes of Lexi Blair. She'll watch it, and we'll even it out at 22. Hovland, a right-handed pitcher in the circle, taking her time. Walking back to the back of the circle. The reset, and now the windup. 2-2 on the way. Here it is. This one high up again, but Blair takes a hack at it, fouling it backwards out of the stadium. We're going to do this one again.
Lexi Blair making Hovland earn this out. Hovland making Blair earn a base hit if she wants it too.
Wind blowing in towards the Michigan dugout, so not going to get much help on this one. The 2-2 once again. This one high up near the eyes. Blair did a nice job working a full count here.
Great discipline there by Blair, just waiting for her pitch, not swinging at anything she doesn't like.
That's something that sometimes goes unnoticed. As great of a hitter as Lexi Blair is, just as selective up there at the plate. The full count pitch from Hovland. Big swing. This one down the line in left field, and it's going to be foul. Nice off-speed pitch there on the outer half of the plate from Hovland. Blair just threw her hands at it and lives to fight another day.
Just a grinder of an at-bat early. Great way to start off this tournament for the Wolverines.
Hovland takes her time, adjusts the glove. Now settling back in, the ball on her right hip. Spins it into the glove and now goes to the windup. Full count pitch to Lexi Blair. This one fouled off again. Hovland tried to handcuff her, went low and inside. Lexi doing a great job getting the hands through quick. This one, a long at-bat. Both Hovland and Blair battling it out here. The full count pitch again. This one popped up. It's going to stay in fair territory. And coming over to make the nice play is number 5, Sydney Nichols, the second baseman.
Nichols coming all the way over from that second base position. Had the right fielder, had the first baseman converging on it. Calls him off. Able to reel that one in herself.
So after a long at-bat, Hovland gets an easy one. Gets the All-American to pop one up. That's going to bring up Christina Burkhart, also situated in that left-handed batter's box. Fresh count, corner still playing up. Big swing from Burkhart. This one driven back to the wall, and that one's going to drop down. She's got 2, maybe more. And that's a stand-up double for Christina Burkhart on the first pitch of her at-bat.
Burkhart, the UNC transfer, making her presence felt in that first at-bat. First pitch. Just absolutely crushes that one back to the center field wall. Right over the head of the center fielder.
Talk about a great way to get your season started. Now with one route and a runner in scoring position, that's going to bring up Taylor Bump. Bump deciding to come back this year with her 5th-year option. First pitch on the way from Hovland. Bump watches it on the outside half. That one called a strike. Taylor Bump really came into her own as a hitter last season. Led the team in home runs and just kind of found the power that we always knew she had. Really all she needed was the contact and a little bit of confidence, and boy, did that come.
Yeah, 13 of them last year. So definitely showing off that power, and there's a reason she's in that number 3 spot for the Wolverines.
Second one, a called strike, so Bump down in an 0-2 hole here. 1 out, 1 runner in scoring position. We've only seen 1 off-speed pitch so far from Hovland. See what she goes to here on the 0-2. This one way high and outside. Burkhart almost got caught a little bit too far on second base.
Burkhart been taking a healthy leadoff there with neither the shortstop or second baseman playing on the bag.
Catcher D'Ambrosio took a shot at her. Took a look over, rather. No, she's got a good arm back there behind the plate. Interested to see if Michigan will test it early. The 0-2 to Bump popped up, and that one well foul over into the bullpen.
Wouldn't expect them to test it going straight to third from stealing second to third, but Wolverines can get somebody with some speed on first base. Would not be shocked if Carol Hutchins decides to test out that arm.
1-2 count, 1 out, 1 runner in scoring position. The delivery to Bump. This one, big swing towards the right center gap. This one, back to the wall. See ya! Taylor Bump stays hot into the 2022 season, and the Wolverines have an early 2-0 lead in Tampa.
Well, we just talked about it, that power that she's unlocked. Talk about power right over that right field wall, just straight over the head of the right fielder. No chance at that one, well over the wall.
That is back-to-back at-bats for the Wolverines with solid contact. Burkhart, the stand-up double, the center field, and Taylor Bump right there. with an opposite field home run into the wind. I mean, that ball was absolutely crushed.
She got all of that and some more.
That's going to bring up Hannah Carson back to the left side. Fresh count, no runners on with 1 out. And Hovland finds the zone.
Kansas City was ranked number 2 in the Summit League going into this season.
Hovland with the advantage. Goes to the changeup here. Looks like it just missed at the top of the zone. That one, from at least our angle, looked like the exact same location. Carson with the much better view from down there at home plate.
Wolverines, though, ranked number 1 in the Big Ten going into the season, so a little bit of a difference there in competition.
1-1 count to Carson up by her eyes, so it'll go 21. The on-deck circle, the right-handed junior Lexi Voss. Corners back, playing even with the bags. Middle infield back near the dirt. Hovland's 2-1 delivery. This one swung on. Fouled hard our direction.
A lot of experience in this Wolverine lineup. A couple freshmen rounding out the end there. But a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors in this lineup. A couple transfers.
We highlighted all those acquisitions and losses for the Wolverines in our first episode of East of the Rockies, the Michigan softball podcast here on WCBN Sports. Make sure to check that out over on SoundCloud. The 2-2 delivery to Hannah Carson popped up. This one has potential to stay in. D'Ambrosio makes a nice play, and that's out number 2.
Big out there for Kansas City, and Hovland just get back in rhythm a little bit, get a little more comfortable after two big hits from the Wolverines. You got to find some level of comfort here. Stop the bleeding a little bit.
So with 2 outs, the Roos have yet to make a play on a ball in fair territory. Both outs coming on pop-ups. Fresh count, 2 outs. Lexi Voss steps to the plate now. Takes a big hack at the first pitch, pops it up over towards the second baseman, and that one an easy out for Nichols over at second. As we head to the bottom of the first, Michigan puts 2 on early on the big opposite field slam from Taylor Bump.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Wolverines are looking for from her this season. That kind of power to all corners of the field. And Burkhart showing off her power as well. Second team All-ACC at North Carolina last season. Huge transfer pickup for the Wolverines. If she can continue to hit like that, Wolverines are going to be in business this season.
As the Wolverines take the field, just want to give a couple shout-outs to the live chat. See some thanks from broadcasting from Zeeland, Michigan, the home of Haley Hogenrod. If any of you at home would like to, drop where you're listening from in the chat. Always like to see where all our fans are coming in from. Again, if you're just tuning in, would like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball here live on YouTube. You got 4 games for you all this weekend. This first one against Kansas City, then the game immediately following this one against Illinois State, and then tomorrow, what on the schedule at least looks like the marquee matchup. Michigan, Florida first, and then USF later in the day. As we have some more shout-outs in the chat from listeners from Philly, Fenton, Michigan, and Buffalo, my hometown. How you doing, Cameron? Also coming in,
Oklahoma.
Listening from Ardmore, Oklahoma, in Ann Arbor, where it is snowing. The weather here, not quite snow, I wouldn't call it. Maybe a light breeze, but sunny skies and warm weather here in Tampa, Florida.
Definitely cannot be complaining that I'm in Tampa and not Ann Arbor right now, but
Megan Bobian takes the circle. Set to deliver for the first time today and blows it by Nichols. You know, we mentioned early in the broadcast and Easter Rockies the other day, this Michigan pitching staff is going to be the real driving horse behind this team this season. That 1-2 combo between Megan Beaubien and Alex Duraco is Beaubien just misses low. The count will go 1-1.
Yeah, two of the better pitchers in the Big Ten. Duraco, obviously, just an absolute monster. And like you just said, they're going to be the driving force of this team. They're going to be the ones that make this team go places in postseason play. And if they want to win the conference, that's going to be the driving force.
Nichols chases the 1-1 low and pops it up over to Weidra at second base. So that's 3 pitches and 1 out for Megan Beaubien. Pretty efficient if you ask me. Following the pop-up, that's going to bring up Hillbrenner. Chloe Hillbrenner, the star of this Roos lineup last season, a .354 hitter. Tossed in 8 doubles, a triple, 6 home runs, and a team-leading 68 runs as she takes a big hack at pitch number 1 and fouls it backwards into the net.
Yeah, Hillbrenner was definitely the best offensive player on this Roos team last season. Driving force of their offense. And the Roos hung around in a couple of big games last season. Played Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, or upset Oklahoma State. Hung with Oklahoma for a while. So they're not used to, or they are very much so used to playing some high-level competition and aren't necessarily afraid of it.
On 0-1, Beaubien gets Hillbrenner to chase the rise ball. So 0-2, 1 out, nobody on. Beaubien in complete control here. The advantage pitch gets her to chase again. This one fouled backwards into the net over towards the Michigan dugout. We mentioned how Chloe Hillbrenner, a veteran presence and really a staple of this Roos lineup. Over there in the on-deck circle, though, Lexi Smith, a freshman, batting in the 3-hole, interested to see what she can do in her young career. The 0-2 once again from Beaubien, change up low and in the dirt. Carson doing a nice job dropping down and keeping that one from the back fence.
Yeah, and how about that first at-bat of your Division I softball career? You get to go up against Megan Beaubien.
Could either be a fantastic or a disheartening start.
You're going to learn real quick.
Beaubien still in the driver's seat. 1-2. This one popped up. Shallow center field coming in is Lexi Blair, and it's going to drop down right in front of her, so the Roos have a runner on. Nice piece of hitting there by Hillbrenner. Going down to get it and just putting it where no Wolverines could get there in time. So 1 runner on with 1 out.
Yeah, and if anyone was going to get this show started for the Roos, it was going to be Chloe Hillbrenner.
Hillbrenner, you know she likes to run 45 for 50 last season on stolen base attempts as Smith swings and misses on the first pitch.
Hannah Carson was already popping up quick there to discourage any kind of ideas of stealing a base there from Hillbrenner.
Smith with the bat cocked over her right shoulder. Fouls the rise ball back. She's going to be down in a big hole here, 0-2. So usually, you know, in this kind of situation, Megan Beaubien might go to her coveted changeup, but with a runner with wheels on first base like Hillbrenner, might see Beaubien just try to blow it by her. 0-2, she does. Throw down from Carson, just barely too late. Hillbrenner slid in there on the back side of the bag.
Hillbrenner showing off the wheels there. Was just going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if she takes one here, if Lexi Smith does not foul this one off, and what do you know?
Beaubien's 0-2 pitch missed low and away. So Smith's going to get another crack at it. 1-2, change up on the outside half, and she rings her up. With a runner on second base, Beaubien decides not to mess around anymore and just punches out the freshman. 2 outs.
Called strike 3, just froze her.
That is just vintage Megan Beaubien right there. Change up on the outside half of the plate. Great frame by Hannah Carson. I mean, that's about as textbook as it gets.
Welcome to the league, Lexi Smith.
First pitch on the way to Von Felt, a big swing and a miss, comes up empty. Nice uniform matchup today. Michigan in the all blue with maize visors. Kansas City Roos in the powder blues today. 0-1 pitch, foul back. Beaubien out in the driver's seat again. She'll have an 0-2 count when she delivers once more.
Hard not to like a powder blue uniform. Just such a classic. Especially in warm weather. Powder blues just...
In the on-deck circle is D'Ambrosio. She has her leg guards on, though, as the 0-2 low and outside. Hillbrenner takes third base for free.
Hillbrenner making herself a threat, and there's no wonder why she led the team in runs last season when she's putting herself in scoring position off of any kind of hit, whether it be a single or a double, making her way all the way to third.
1-2 count with a runner on third base. The Roos have potential to do some damage. 1-2 fouled over into the Michigan dugout. Couple heads duck. The junior, Von Felt, looking to get something going here for her Kansas City team. So you have a quick stoppage of play as Beaubien wants to swap out the ball.
All-righty lineup for the Roos going up against the lefty Beaubien.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing about this Kansas City lineup. As you mentioned, all righties.
Not something you see all the time.
Deep breath from Beaubien, delivers that one. Barely catches the bat of Von Felt. Just threw her hands at it in a last-ditch effort to make some sort of contact.
And especially different from the Wolverines lineup, which is chocked full of left-handed hitters.
Beaubien looking for the goodnight pitch here. 1-2 count, runner on third base, 2 outs. Change up, hit slow on the ground, and what a play! Taylor Bump covers all sorts of ground and lays out for out number 3.
Just an electric play from Taylor Bump. Gets a great jump on the ball and then makes an athletic play to lay out and haul that one in. Able to retain the ball in the glove. Completing that process of the catch, if you will. Going to the ground and gets the Wolverines back up to bat.
Bump doing it on both ends as we head to the top of the second following the incredible defensive play by Taylor Bump. Looking back at the top half, Bump puts the Wolverines out in front on that 2-run blast that scores both her and Christina Burkhart. Couple more shout-outs from hometowns in the chat. Snowy, Upper Pennsylvania, Mechanicsville, Virginia, Woodland, Texas, Brighton, Michigan, Tecumseh, Michigan, Plain City, Ohio, Grand Rapids, DeWitt, Michigan. Again, would like to just thank you all for tuning in and supporting us here at WCBN Sports. Our coverage, especially the coverage down here in Tampa, wouldn't be possible without all of you.
Absolutely. It's always fun to be able to go on these kind of trips and follow the teams, not just softball, all the teams, but especially softball, all across the country to their various tournaments and away games, and it really is not possible without the generous donations of our listeners.
The travel down here was a lot smoother than last time I made this trip. If some of you remember, I was down here 2 years ago, just as a freshman alongside Alex Drain, and our travels down here were less than smooth. Flight delays, shaky planes, but you know, the flights down here at least were pretty smooth, Kelin.
Smooth sailing all the way down, no complaints.
As the music stops and the crowd starts cheering, we're set to go in the top of the second. Hovland's first pitch to Lauren Essman's fouled backwards into the net, so she'll be out in front early. Essman back for her junior season, a .304 hitter last year. Threw in 10 RBIs and just under 30 hits last year as a sophomore. Down in an 0-1 hole here, watches this one on the outside. That one called ball one.
Hovland missed pretty far off the plate there. Easy decision for Essman to bite her tongue, if you will, on that one.
Hovland puts the ball on her right hip, now goes to the windup. The 1-1. Just missing outside again. D'Ambrosio did her best to frame it on the outside half. So 2-1 count here for Essman as she steps back into that left-handed batter's box. Hovland set to deliver. This one hit deep down the left field line. Off the glove of the left fielder. Essman's got at least two. And Hutch is going to hold her up at second. That one, we'll be interested to see if it goes down as a hit or an error. It was deep in that left field corner. Thorne had to cover a lot of ground to even get a glove on it. And it is going to go down as a hit. Essman with a stand-up double.
Wolverines showing power to all fields. Home run over that right field wall. Ball hit to the warning track in center field, and then a ball into that left field corner.
With Essman on second base, that's going to bring up Ellie Sealer. She showed bunt. Pulled it back, but ball caught the outside half of the plate anyway. 0-1.
Now the Wolverines are getting into the end of their lineup. Interesting to see how these freshmen fare. Sealer, Weidra, McVeigh, all freshmen.
3 freshmen in the 7, 8, 9 holes. The 0-1 misses high and outside. Saw Sealer back in those fall ball series against both Central Michigan and Oakland, as well as the game against Detroit Mercy. Had quite the little series. Couple leadoff doubles and just contact all throughout the field. She's got a 1-1 count here. Low and outside, it'll go 2-1. Over in the on-deck circle, another lefty freshman, Weidra. Essman with decent wheels over there on second base. A single should score her. The 2-1. Shows bunt again and pulls back. This one low and outside. It'll be 3-1. Hitters count for Weidra when she steps back in.
Great job pulling back that bunt. That's great discipline as a hitter to be able to recognize that and pull back on the bunt, because on the bunt attempt, it's really, really easy to hang in there and just try to make any kind of contact you can.
She's going to swing away on 3-1 and fouls it backwards into the net. The corners, Smith and Garcia were creeping way up. Outfield playing about a step in. Already down 2-0 here in the top of the second. Kansas City kind of in run prevention mode. The full count pitch fouled back. We're going to do that one again.
Yeah, and it looked like Carol Hutchins wanted a sacrifice bunt situation to advance the runner, but obviously not really in the cards anymore with the full count.
Wind continues to blow backwards into the face of the hitters, so Hovland gets a little bit of help from Mother Nature. Full count pitch. Fouled back. The Wolverines hitters have done a great job today of just protecting the plate and, you know, fighting for as long as they can until they can get the pitch they like and then driving it. We saw it with Burkhart. We saw it with Taylor Bump. Just sitting until you want your pitch.
Absolutely, and that's great coaching and from this coaching staff here at Michigan to instill that discipline into their players to be able to sit on the pitch that they want and sit on the pitch they're waiting for. And then when they see that pitch, to be able to execute and drive it to all areas of the field.
Quick little mound meeting between Hovland and D'Ambrosio. Both Hovland and Sealer settling back in now. Full count, no outs. Runner on second base. Wolverines with potential to put one on the board. Another foul ball off the fence.
Wolverines continuing to battle.
Tell you what, over the field right now, there is not a cloud in the sky. It is a beautiful day here out in Tampa, Florida. Couldn't ask for better weather for softball.
No, and this temperature is only going to go up, which I am not complaining about.
Hovland nods yes to this sign, but it doesn't matter as Sealer fouls it back again.
Wolverine dugout showing some energy here. The Sealer continues to fight.
We're going to do this full count pitch again. Hovland takes a deep breath, nods yes to the sign. The delivery on a full count. This one hit hard towards the left fielder and right at her. Thorne had to take about one step to her left to catch that line drive. Sealer put a nice piece of contact on it, but just couldn't find a gap.
But that's exactly what we were talking about, is waiting on her pitch, and then when she finds the pitch she likes, driving it. Obviously didn't quite find the gap, but putting it well into the outfield there.
You know, as much as you want to get on base, you can't look back at that at-bat and be disappointed. Widra steps in now and puts down a bunt beautifully in front of first base, and the throw goes into the outfield. Essman's going to score from second.
Perfectly executed sacrifice bunt there by the Wolverines. And didn't end up needing to be a sacrifice due to the error, but great execution all around.
That bunt went down and got maybe 6 inches away from home plate.
Oh, it bounced once or twice, and it was straight vertical because that ball went nowhere.
Wolverines now up 3-0 as McVeigh steps into the lineup. First pitch outside. The freshman McVeigh, a slap hitter from that left-handed side. So with Essman back in the dugout and Widra over there on first base, as there's a foul ball, almost takes out a few Kansas City players standing on the edge of the dugout.
With the way the Wolverines have been fouling off balls, I think everyone has to be on their toes.
Yeah, if I'm standing at the top of the dugout right now, I'm putting on a helmet.
We're lucky enough to have the net in front of us, but I would be very much so aware of everything that's going on around me if I'm in either dugout.
Lexi Blair looks on from the on-deck circle as this one's popped up foul. 1-2 count, 1 out, 1 runner on first base. McVeigh's got the wheels. Really all she needs to do is put it down and just put pressure on the defense.
Hot start offensively for the Wolverines. Already 3 runs, and they're continuing to threaten.
The 1-2 advantage pitch from Hovland. This one hit right back at her. Turns, throws over to second base in time to get Widra, but not enough time for the double play. That'll bring up Lexi Blair with McVeigh over there at first base. Reaches on a fielder's choice. As we were mentioning, Wolverines have been hot to start. 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 coming in the top of the first off the 2-run blast from Taylor Bump.
That key error on the overthrow to first base on the bunt.
Blair steps up, hits this one in the gap between left center, covering a lot of ground to get there is Thorne. And we're going to head to the bottom of the second. Michigan able to put one up, though, as you mentioned on. The error from D'Ambrosio allowed Lauren Essman to score from second base on the bunt from Widra. It'll be Megan Bobian back out in the circle. So we head to bottom two. The Wolverines are up 3-0 here in beautiful, beautiful Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, and if you're the Kansas City Roos, you're coming to this game maybe not. I don't want to say you're not expecting to win, because that's you're a confident team and you always expect to try to win games, but having errors already is not the recipe to hang with this Michigan team that's not going to give up a lot of runs with Megan Bobian on the mound. And already giving up a home run in that first inning, those are the kind of errors that you just have to avoid to stay in this game.
Bobian's going to face 5, 6, 7 to start this inning. D'Ambrosio, Finoglio, and Carnes, followed by Thorne and Garcia rounding it out in the 8-9 spot. Throw down from Carson comes, and looks like we're set to go.
Exciting to see Bobian back on the bump. Back on the mound, see what she can do.
Settling into that right-handed batter's box is D'Ambrosio, a senior. Bobian checks the wristband, spins the ball a few times in that left hand, now to the windup. Fresh count. Blows it by her, but just a little outside, ball one. Defensive lineup for the Wolverines, left to right in the infield, is Bump, McVeigh, Wedra, and Essman. Left to right in the outfield, Sealer, Blair, and Christina Burkhart, the graduate transfer from UNC over there in right field.
Those corners playing very far in, creeping up even more as the pitch is thrown.
The 1-0 pitch was a changeup, missed just outside. Strike zone seems pretty tight here through the first inning and a half. D'Ambrosio's got a hitter's count here. Watches the perfect one go by right down Broadway for a called strike one. If you're D'Ambrosio, you got to take advantage of pitches like that. With, an ace on the mound in Megan Bobian, you're not going to get too many that just go right past your belt.
No, and maybe she was looking for the off speed there. I'm not quite sure, but clearly that was not the pitch she was looking for.
She's going to get another shot at a hitter's count here as the 2-1 misses just inside. D'Ambrosio settles in, another senior in Finoglio over in the on-deck circle. 3-1 hitter's count, corners up, big swing and a miss, and we're going to go full.
That was an aggressive hack there from D'Ambrosio. She thought she was going to send that one deep into the outfield, but could not make any contact.
2 home runs on the year last year, 7 doubles. She's got the power. Full count, pitch swung on and missed, and Bobian sits her down.
Just blew it right by her.
That one on the outside half, and D'Ambrosio just looked defeated, kind of threw her hands at it in a last-ditch effort. 1 up, 1 down for Megan Bobian.
And continuing to foul off pitches from a pitcher like Megan Bobian has to be exhausting, just because of how difficult it is to even catch a piece.
Finoglio hits this one hard in the gap between shortstop and third base. She'll reach on a single. Swinging on the first pitch, getting aggressive, and with 1 out, Kansas City's got a runner on the board.
Last time Kansas City stole their way around to third base.
Marina Carnes will settle in now. Situated deep in that right-handed batter's box. That one misses just low, right below the knees. Corners can afford to play back here. Middle infield back and double play depth. Finoglio, the first baseman over there. Not too much of a stealing threat as there's a big swing and a miss on the 0-1, or the 1-0 rather. The wind seems to have died down a little bit here at USF. Not too much, just as I say that, it picks back up.
Just kind of coming in here and there.
1-1 rise ball, foul backhand. Carson's going to chase it, but it bounces off the net. It'll be 1-2.
Beautiful facilities here at USF. I know you've been here before, but my first time down here at University of South Florida and this whole baseball, softball complex. Got a great setup.
The 1-2 to Carnes, misses on the outside. Last year as a freshman, Carnes didn't really get much playing time, only 8 at-bats on the year. But some off-season work has put her in the starting lineup here for the 2022 season. Beaubien checks the wristband, nods yes, and now to the windup on 2-2. And she freezes her right at the knees. Beaubien brings up her second of the inning.
Megan Beaubien's third K of the day. That's 2 she's caught looking.
Stepping up to the plate now, senior left fielder Ashley Thorne. She's had an impact on the defensive end, looking to keep her team alive here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. First pitch misses inside.
Yeah, Thorne, after just unable to reach that first one that went into the left corner, made 2 nice plays to end the send it to the bottom half of the second inning. And keep the Wolverines at bay.
Checks the wristband once again, shrugs the shoulders, now goes to the windup. 1-0 pitch on the way. Rise ball way high. Last year, Thorne perfect in the stealing of bases. A solid 8 for 8. You know, she's got the wheels, showed it off on the defensive half last inning. 2-0 hitters count on the way, just misses low. That's 3 straight balls from Megan Beaubien. And I'd be surprised if Ashley Thorne didn't just take this one.
Got to imagine Beaubien's going to try to put this one on the plate.
3-0 pitch on the way to Thorne. And that one right down Broadway, called strike 1. So Thorne still has the advantage here. 3-1 hitters count, but when you look over and see Megan Beaubien across from you, I don't think you ever think you're at the advantage.
No.
Wind up from Beaubien, dribbled slowly over towards shortstop, fired across the diamond. Nice play there from McVeigh. And Michigan holds the Roos scoreless for a second straight inning. We're going to head to the top of the third. The Wolverines still up 3-0.
Easy play for the freshman there, McVeigh. Just a simple ground ball. Toss that one over to first. Get out of the inning.
Due up for Michigan, it's 2-3-4, Burkhart, Bump, and Carson. As you might recall, back in that first inning, Christina Burkhart and Taylor Bump were the two that really started things off for Michigan. Burkhart with a stand-up double, and then Bump follows it right up with that opposite field home run that scored both of them.
Yeah, Burkhart and Bump both got a hold of 2 of Hovland's pitches, and be interesting to see how they come back, if they get attacked differently by the Roos, or if Burkhart and Bump can continue their success against Hovland.
So second time through the order, Michigan has seen all that Hovland has to offer. So you know they're going to be looking to attack. You mentioned a few times so far in this broadcast, Michigan's been super selective up there at the plate, just following things off until they get the pitch they want. You got to think second time through, you're going to have a better idea just from the jump.
Yeah, absolutely. They know what they're looking for. Obviously, you can only find so much off of film and the scouting report, but now that you've actually taken an at bat, kind of know what you're looking for. You know what you're sitting on. Then you can foul off until you see the pitch you're looking for, and then it's all about execution from there.
So with a fresh count, Christina Burkhart will step back into that left-handed batter's box. First pitch on the way from Hovland. Big swing, foul backwards into the net, glances off the glove of D'Ambrosio. As you mentioned, Burkhart, the graduate transfer from UNC in her last year of eligibility.
Going to be a big piece for the Wolverines this season.
It's already made an impact here in Tampa. Shows bunt on 0-1, gets it down the third baseline. It's going to be a tough play for D'Ambrosio. She throws it in the outfield again. Burkhart's going to take second base, maybe more, slides into 2.
And regardless of the error, that was an excellent, excellent bunt from Burkhart. Just put that square in the middle of the third baseman, pitcher, and catcher, making all of them have to run for it. And then D'Ambrosio with another error trying to throw a bunt to first. Would not be surprised if the Wolverines look to go back to that at some point to continue to pick on D'Ambrosio and make her make the play.
An uncharacteristic start for D'Ambrosio behind the plate. Last year, only 5 total errors throughout the entirety of the season. And I'm getting a little bit of deja vu right now with Taylor Bump up the plate. Christina Burkhart on second. First pitch, a rise ball that catches the top of the zone, called strike 1.
You telling me I should head over to that right field wall and stand right behind there, maybe catch a little souvenir?
Yeah, if any of you sitting out there behind the right field wall are listening, watch out. One might be coming your way. 0-1 pitch to Bump. Change up, misses outside. We'll even back out at 11. You have to think that Hovland's thinking the exact same thing I am right now. Christina Burkhart sitting behind you at second base. Taylor Bump looming large in that right-handed batter's box. I'd be getting flashbacks too. 1-1 pitch with no outs. This one hit hard on the ground towards third base, fired across the diamond, and able to retire Taylor Bump.
Nice play there by the third baseman. Able to get that one back across the diamond with ease and able to hold Burkhart at second. Lexi Smith making the throw over.
Smith doing a nice job fielding that one on the backhand. Had it gotten through, would have been a double. Probably scored Burkhart from second. But that's going to bring up Hannah Carson. Still a runner in scoring position. Just one out here for the Wolverines. She takes a big hack at this one. Gets through the infield. Off the glove of the first baseman. And Burkhart's going to score. Play at the plate. Is too late. Hannah Carson sitting calmly over there on first base.
And how about Christina Burkhart? First game with the Wolverines. 2 for 2, 2 runs scored already. And we're only in the third inning.
Again, we're going to look to see if that goes down as a hit or an error. It definitely went off the glove of Garcia, but Hannah Carson hit the seams off of that ball.
Yeah, that ball was well hit. Just out of the reach of the first baseman there, Kelin Garcia.
Michigan up. Now 4-0 here in the top of the third. This one hit soft on the ground towards third base. Gets the lead runner at second. So Lexi Voss going to reach on a fielder's choice. Hannah Carson's at-bat is going to go down as a single. So Michigan continues to just hit the ball hard here.
Breeze picking up a lot of bit here.
Fresh count towards Lauren Essman with 2 outs. This one misses outside for ball number 1. Essman in her last time up doubled and then ended up scoring. 1-0 pitch on the way towards the junior. Big swing, hit hard up the middle. That one's going to get down.
And the bats have been hot early for the Wolverines.
Hovland just saw a flash of yellow, and that ball was right by her head and bouncing in to right into the glove of the center fielder, Hillbrunner.
Yeah, put that ball right where nobody can make a play on it. Excellent piece of hitting.
Sealer in her last time up had an incredible at-bat. She swings on the first pitch, pops it up in the infield. And that one's going to go down, and we're going to head to the bottom of the third inning. So Michigan leaves 2 on there, but not before putting 1 across. Christina Burkhart scores for the second time today.
And if you're the Wolverine faithful or Carol Hutchins, you've got to be very pleased with how your bats have been so far. All across the lineup, getting solid contact, power, putting runners in scoring position, and then bringing a lot of those runners home. Obviously, tomorrow the games against USF and especially Florida are more the marquee matchups, but definitely encouraging to see the bats heating up early.
Looking back in the live chat, see some discussions going on. Want to quick highlight maybe one of the most exciting destinations that I've seen where people listening from, Kauai.
Wow.
You know, as great as the weather is here in Tampa, I'm sure it's even better in Kauai.
I'm not going to complain too much about being in South Florida, but Kauai is not a bad spot to be.
Yeah, that's next level. So enough from us about discussing the weather. We're set to go. Beaubien's got 9, then top. It's Garcia, then back up to Nichols and Hillbrenner. The first 3. First pitch, swung on, hit hard over towards the bullpen. Here's some signs of life from the Kansas City dugout for the first time today as Garcia fouls that one off. Garcia putting a lot of weight on that back right leg. Bat over the right shoulder. Watches pitch number 2 go by. Off speed, misses just outside. The count will go 1-1.
And the Roos able to get a couple runners on base, but for the most part, Beaubien has had her way with this lineup so far.
Beaubien 3 strikeouts already on the afternoon as she gets Garcia to pop up the 1-1 in foul territory. The Michigan faithful did not disappoint today, packing out the stands on both sides of the field, both behind the Michigan dugout and over near the Kansas City side.
A lot of maize and blue. Love to see that.
1-2 pitch on the way from Beaubien, gets her to chase and sits her down. Strikeout number 4 for Megan Beaubien. And that's going to bring up the top of the order.
Well known that the Michigan faithful travel well, but just always a lovely sign to see that in person and see everyone out, support the softball team.
First pitch to Sydney Nichols. Catches the zone right at her knees for a called strike 1. Nichols popped up in foul territory her first time up. Beaubien checks the wristband, takes a deep breath, spins the ball a few times in the left hand. Now goes to the windup. Right to that changeup, and Nichols had no shot at that one.
Nichols was way out ahead on that one, just absolutely befuddled by the off speed.
A half-hearted attempt at a swing there from Sydney Nichols. Beaubien well in the driver's seat. 0-2 pitch on the way. Back to the changeup and freezes her.
That's textbook right there. Megan Beaubien is in a groove.
Like a shark, Beaubien saw blood in the water and went right after it. Saw that Nichols didn't want anything to do with the changeup and decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go right back to that exact same spot, exact same pitch. I dare you to hit it. Hillbrenner now stepping to the plate, her last time up. A bloop single into shallow center field as she takes a big swing on the first pitch and comes up empty.
Hillbrenner going to be the one to get this offense clicking for the Roos, if anyone will.
Going to have to get something going here as we get deeper and deeper into this game, and it just seems like every time the Wolverines step to the plate, their lead grows larger and larger.
And Megan Beaubien only seems to be heating up more and more.
The changeup from Beaubien on 0-1 was about as close to being a strike as I think you possibly could be, but just misses the zone, so we're evened out. The 1-1 popped up, and now Beaubien back out in front as this one bounces off the net over towards the Michigan dugout. You hear some cheers as a staff member catches it off the bounce.
A little souvenir for the staff.
Esmond and Bump playing even with the bags. McVeigh and Widra now stepping up a few steps behind the baseline. The 1-2 popped up backwards out of the stadium, so we're going to do that one again.
Every time I think this breeze goes away, it comes right back.
See over there in the Lawler family batting facility right behind left field, Illinois State gets some cuts in that game. We'll immediately follow this one, and will be available on WCBN Sports. The 1-2 pitch dribbled over towards second base, and Widra able to make the easy play.
Nice.
For the third straight inning, the Kansas City Roos held scoreless, and Megan Beaubien is red hot right now.
Absolutely. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the inning there. She has 5 now through 3. And she's getting into a groove, you can tell.
Looking forward as to what's to come from us here at WCBN Sports. Obviously, as we mentioned, the game against Illinois State will be coming immediately following this one. That one's scheduled for 12:30. This game seems to be on schedule. And then the games tomorrow will be against Florida and USF. Following that, when we return back to Ann Arbor, we will have the second episode of East of the Rockies that will, recap our trip here to Tampa and look forward into the season. Then, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode, we'll have a live stream, or that episode will be live streamed. So you'll be able to tune in here on YouTube. It'll be posted to SoundCloud later. But what comes with the live stream is the fact that we'll have some interaction with the live chat. We'll do a whole segment where all of you listening in can, tune in and ask us questions about, our thoughts on the team or just about our trip in general or really anything. I just want to take the time to, get to know you all in the live chat. And, because like I said a few times before, without all of you here, our coverage would not be possible.
And if softball alone is not enough for you, we've got plenty of other Michigan athletics coverage throughout the weekend. I believe we have 10 or 11 broadcasts in total from today through Sunday. Some Michigan hockey, some Michigan basketball, all throughout the weekend. A lot going on in the world of Wolverine athletics.
While we were talking, we had a substitution. It's going to be Jenna Milan now in the circle pitching for the Kansas City Roos. So Mia Hovland's day is done. Let up 4 runs through 3 innings on 6 hits. Milan's going to have 8-9 top. It's Widra, McVeigh, and then back to Lexi Blair at the top of the order. First pitch on the way, rides inside and hits Widra. Not the start you want if you're Jenna Milan.
Not quite the ideal start. First pitch, hitting the batter.
Widra doing a nice job staying in there and taking that one off the back. That'll bring up McVeigh. Last time up. Reached first base on a fielder's choice. Corner's playing way up. McVeigh came up, showed bunt, pulled back. Pitch misses outside. It'll be ball 1. Seems like McVeigh made the right call there.
What do you know? Wolverines continuing to show discipline in the batter's box. Not surprising.
The 1-0 pitch on the way from Milan shows bunt again. That one is going to be called a strike. You know, if I'm Michigan, I stick right to this small ball tactic. D'Ambrosio's defense has been less than ideal. Already has 2 errors on the afternoon. As the 1-1 right down Broadway. McVeigh didn't like it. She pulled back. Doesn't matter. Called for strike number 2.
I completely agree. I think you have to put some pressure on her, as she's shown that she has been struggling to complete that throw to first base, and why not continue to put some pressure on her with a runner already on first?
1-2 count, no outs, 1 runner on. This one hit hard over to shortstop. Tough play across the diamond, and barely getting her over there is Von Felt. McVeigh doing a nice job using her legs to put pressure on the defense, but they're able to hold strong. That at bat, not useless though, is Weidra now over on second base.
Von Felt decides to play it safe, does not go for the double play. It would have been close at second base to flip that one over and maybe try to get it to first, but just takes the safe out.
Jenna Milan's going to take a second to reset. Spins that ball in the right hand, facing Lexi Blair up at the plate now. First pitch misses well low.
Wolverine dugout bringing the energy right now for Lexi Blair.
As I mentioned earlier, Lexi Blair last year a .406 hitter, 25 RBIs on the season, with potential for her first of the year.
Uncharacteristic for her to be 0 for 2.
1-0 catches the outside corner. We're going to even it out at 11. One's all the way across the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner over on second base in Weidra. Christina Burkhart, the red-hot bat in this Michigan lineup over there in the on-deck circle. The 1-1 hit hard on the ground. Tough play over at second base, and doing a nice job getting Lexi Blair is Sydney Nichols.
Not completely fruitless, though. Again, advancing the runner. Now any hit scores.
Michigan now with 2 outs and yet to put a run up in the top of the 4th. The pressure's on. Kansas City trying to hold them scoreless for the first time today. First pitch on the way to Burkhart. That one misses low, going past her shins.
Burkhart with a hot start to the day, 2 for 2. But seeing a new pitcher in Milan, gonna have to get a feel for her.
Weidra sitting comfortably over there at third base. The 1-0 pitch, changeup, popped up into the right center gap, covering a lot of ground is the center fielder, Hillbrenner. And for the first time this afternoon, the Kansas City Roos are able to hold Michigan scoreless. We're going to head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The score is still 4-0 Wolverines.
Burkhart continuing to show that great contact and power. Driving the ball well. Doesn't get on base there, but still, that's just a great sign for what's to come later this season. Getting that kind of production out of the transfer.
The Wolverines sticking with what's working. It's Bobian back out in the circle. She's got 3, 4, 5. Lexi Smith, Allie Von Felt, and Alexis D'Ambrosio.
And why would you not? I mean, she's just getting into a rhythm. We saw last inning 2 strikeouts and then forcing I believe it was a pop out to Hillbrenner. Just let Bobian go to work.
Like to thank you to Michael Snowden for shouting out and noticing our new graphics package. Worked pretty hard on it for the past few days to put together a little something nice here for the Tampa trip. A couple more questions. Mark asked, Charlie, are you still helping the Michigan women's basketball team during their practices? Yes, I am. It has been an incredible season. It's been, just such a great honor to be part of, an incredible team and just be able to learn and grow as a person from Kim Barnes-Arico has been just so incredibly grateful. Right into the action here. Beaubien's first pitch on the way to Smith, misses inside. Checks the wristband now to the windup on 1-0. Hits the outside corner. That one called strike one. You don't too often see Megan Beaubien miss her spot twice in a row.
No.
Illinois State still out there in the batting facility. Have to be taking notes. Half swing, dribbled back towards Beaubien. That play about as routine as they come. And that one's an easy out. Beaubien froze her on the changeup, got her as on kind of a half swing. Ball just hits the bat, and on a freshly groomed field like this, that one's just going to roll back to easy, no problem.
Beaubien continuing to stay in that groove that she was in after letting a couple base runners on early. She is dealing.
Changeup number one catches the knees, called for a strike. Von Felton, her first time up back in the first inning, popped up to Taylor Bump at third base. That was that incredible diving play that we saw. Bump has a bit of tape on the right arm from where she cut up her elbow in the dirt. 0-1, Beaubien tries to just blow it by her, misses a little bit inside, it'll even it out.
That's the kind of a grit and aggressiveness that your teammates really respect and admire, diving out for balls in the infield.
Big windup, 1-1 pitch on the way, changeup, froze her again, throws her hands at it, able to barely make contact. These Kansas City hitters have just had no answer for Megan Beaubien's changeup.
No, and that's one of those things where you know it's coming, and going into that, you have to be aware that you're going to see a lot of it, and it's hard to replicate in practice.
The 1-2, rise ball, fouled back. To be fair, though, for now the 5 years that Megan Beaubien has been at the University of Michigan, not too many people have had an answer for her changeup.
No, and there's a reason she's been as successful as she has.
In the top 25 in all of college softball last season in strikeouts, she's got 5 here today. The 1-2 pitch, fouled backwards once more.
She's got 5 already, and I don't think she's done.
Yeah, we have, probably one of the prime pitching matchups coming up tomorrow between either Alex Storako or Megan Beaubien and Georgina Corrick of the USF Bulls. Corrick third in all of softball last season in strikeouts. Beaubien, as I mentioned, coming in the top 25. Storako finishes 8th.
Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
So after going down 1-2 early, Allie Von Felt, the shortstop, done a nice job of just trying to keep herself in this, fouling things off.
Really, that's all you can do a lot of the time against a pitcher like Beaubien, is just try to stay in there as long as you can and hope they falter.
Bat on the right shoulder. Takes a jack swing. The Michigan fans wanted that one called for a strike, but home plate umpire Willie Lopez said no.
Michigan faithful letting him hear it.
Here's some chance of 1-2 from the Kansas City dugout. Try and just provide any support they can, and it's not going to matter. Megan Beaubien blows the rise ball by her, and that's strikeout number 6.
Talk about being in a groove. No one has been able to sniff the bases these last 2 innings, really.
2 outs, nobody on. D'Ambrosio steps to the plate. Beaubien's first pitch misses inside. No activity down in the Michigan bullpen, so at least for the time being, it seems like Michigan's just going to let Beaubien ride it out. infield all playing at their pretty standard positions. The 1-0 pitch fouled back. You know, I went down right to that first row right behind home plate earlier to take a picture that some of you might have seen on the WCBN Sports Twitter page. Little selfless plug there, but that is the best view in the house. Pretty much even with field level. 1-1 pitch. Change up, swung out and missed, and Bo being in the driver's seat once again.
Just putting on a master class right now on how to mix in her pitches, going between that rise ball and the change up, and just changing speeds like that's making it really tough on these Roos hitters.
Bobian takes her time with the sign, then nods yes. Change up, misses low.
Could tell she was frustrated with herself on that one. She wanted it.
Struck Ambrosio out in her first and only plate appearance back in the second inning. Wouldn't be surprised to see her go back to the changeup here on 2-2. This one popped up foul. And out of the stadium, if anybody's walking their dog over there, you might have a free souvenir.
New chew toy.
I know, this net kind of ruins any chances we have of getting a ball.
Yeah, it would take a crazy angle. There's a little gap here where one could potentially slide through, but
Bobian's 2-2. Misses low and in the dirt. Nice scoop by Hannah Carson. So after striking out last time, D'Ambrosio doing a nice job fighting here to a full count. Full count, 2 outs. Nobody on. Kansas City looking to put together a little bit of a run. Full count pitch from Bobian. This one popped up. Lots of air under it. Plenty of time to settle under it. It's Christina Burkhart, and Bobian retires the side. So scoreless for the 4th time today. We're going to head to the top of the 5th inning. Michigan looking to tack a few more on.
Up for the Wolverines. I believe it'll be Bump, Carson, and Voss.
Bump, the one to start things off for Michigan on that 2-run blast back in the first inning. Grounded out her last time up. It will be Jenna Milan back in the circle. I think she more than earned that after keeping the Wolverines scoreless for the first time today in the last inning, her first inning of work.
She's going to be going to have to continue to go right through the teeth of this lineup, though.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 3, 4, 5, Bump, Carson, and Voss. And that'll be followed by Lauren Essman, Ellie Sealer, Annabelle Wedra, and rounding it out, batting 9th, will be Ella McVeigh. You know, back to this net in front of us. I get that you're trying to protect everybody down low, but if we could get somebody to just cut out like one little section so maybe something could get through. Funny story, back in spring of 2020 when myself and Zach Corson were out in Los Angeles covering the Michigan softball tournament at UCLA, they put us on top of the press box. And during
on top of the press box,
and during the UCLA game, which was way late at night, like it was completely pitch black outside except for the lights on the field. The stadium was still packed. We caught a ball, and one hit my laptop too. We were just getting battered on top of the press box. But enough with my stories. Right back into the action. First pitch is a changeup, swung out and missed. So Bump down in an 0-1 hole early. Bump, a righty, standing tall in the batter's box. Swings on the rise ball. Hard hit ground ball over towards third base. All the time in the world to make the play is Smith. And for the second straight at bat, Taylor Bump grounds out to third.
Bump just sends that one right down, nice and easy. to Lexi Smith, and Smith makes it happen.
That'll bring up Hannah Carson. Watches pitch number 1 go by for a called strike 1.
Here comes this breeze again.
Carson with an RBI single in her last time up. Looking to do the same here. Freshman Lauren Durkowski getting some work down there in the Michigan bullpen as Carson pops the 0-1 up right over to shortstop. And that one, an easy play.
Would love to see what the freshman warming up can bring. Be interesting to see if Bobian's game is done or if she'll go for another inning.
So 2 up, 2 down. An impressive inning of work so far for Jenna Milan. That'll bring up Lexi Voss. First pitch called strike at the letters.
Nice pitch there from Milan. Going upstairs, keeping the heat on.
Milan taking her time. Has that right foot down. Left toe up. Pitch number 2, a changeup that misses pretty well high and outside. Count will even out 1-1. Lexi Voss coming into her junior season, looking to find her stride. Swings on the 1-1, hit hard, foul. As I mentioned, Durkowski looked good back in those fall ball series in October, but it's not to say that all the freshmen did. As I mentioned, Ellie Sealer had a couple leadoff doubles. McVeigh looked good. Weidra looked good.
This Michigan softball program's been on the up and up, only continuing to improve and
Lexi Voss
itself.
Almost takes out her teammate Lauren Essman over there in the on-deck circle with that foul ball line drive. The count sits 1-2. No outs, or sorry, 2 outs, no runners on. 1-2 is hit foul the opposite way this time, over towards Kansas City. It's a great complex here they have at USF. The softball field obviously right in front of us. If you turn around directly behind us, it's the baseball field. The 2 even connect right where we are standing up here on the Donaldson deck. The bleachers for the baseball field right behind us. 1-2 pitch from Milan on the way. This one rides high up in the zone. Two count.
Got to see the Yingling Center, the basketball arena as we're arriving.
Yeah, I mean, everything is pretty much right here.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch from Voss, foul backwards. Fan gets a little startled there in the front row as that one bounces right in front of him, goes up into the net. It reminds me, this facility kind of reminds me a lot of Ann Arbor, with the baseball and softball fields pretty much back to back. You can see the basketball stadium from right where you're sitting. Everything's just kind of localized. 2-2 to Voss, fouled off again.
And it's all right on campus too, which is nice. Makes it easy for students to make their way over and cheer on their companions.
Football practice facility right behind the baseball field. I mean, yeah, it's all right here. 2-2 count to Lexi Voss. She's done a great job of keeping herself alive. Hit this one deep in the right center gap. That one's going to get down. She's got 2. Rounding second, and she'll hold up. That one a stand-up double for Lexi Voss on a 2-2 count.
Lexi Voss getting it working. Hammers that one back into right center. Just in between the right and center fielders for the Roos.
That ball bounces on the warning track with the wind blowing back at her.
Have to imagine that maybe if the wind's flipped, wind's helping, that one gets pretty close to that fence there.
We're going to have a pinch runner come in. It's going to be Audrey LeClaire. LeClaire, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona. And now, especially with LeClaire's wheels on second base, a single would almost certainly score. Right now, if you're Michigan, after going scoreless last inning, looking to buy one back here. There's not many people you'd want up at the plate right now rather than Lauren Essman. 2 for 2 on the day. A double back in the second inning in which she scored, and then last time up in the third, tacked on a single.
She's been driving the ball well.
Watches a tempting first pitch go by. Just wide, so made the right read. 1-0. LeClaire over there with a decent secondary lead at second base. Jenna Milan taking her time here. Now delivers. Essman swings on this one, hits it hard down the line, but it's going to go foul.
Essman continuing to fight. That's what she's done all day in the batter's box. She's going to be disciplined and wait for her pitch.
1-1 on the way to Essman. Change up near her eyes. Last season, defensively, we mostly saw Essman in the outfield, typically playing right or left. This year, though, is, at least for this game, has made the transition to first base. 2-1 pitch on the way, 2 outs. This one hit hard. That one's going to get through the infield, and LeClaire's going to round third. It's going to be a close play at the plate. Cut off. Not going to get there in time. They're going to throw over to second. Taking second is Essman.
Great execution from the Wolverines. Lauren Essman having herself a day. 3 for 3, driving in the run there. LeClaire in, standing up. That speed, no question that she was getting in.
Yeah, realizing late that LeClaire was going to score no matter what, the third baseman, Smith, cut it off and tried to make the play at second base, but a nice slide from Lauren Essman, and she gets in clean. 3 for 3 on the day. It's going to go down as a double. So now 2 doubles and a single on the day from Lauren Essman.
Not too shabby.
We have a pinch hitter in for Ellie Sealer. It's going to be Kiki Thole stepping to the plate now. Thole in that right-handed batter's box. She's got Lauren Essman over there on second. 2 outs. Count now evened out to 1-1 as she watches that one go by for a called strike. Here comes the pitch. Big swing and miss. Got her on the changeup. Nice off speed there from Jenna Milan.
Thole, the sophomore, getting a chance now.
Looking to tack another one on here. 1-2 count. 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. Nice set of eyes there from Kiki Thole. She watches that one go by a little bit too far outside.
And Essman is looking to take third here if she gets the opportunity.
Milan taking her time now, delivers the 2-2. This one hit hard on the ground. Awkward play at third base, and it's going to bounce off the glove of Smith. And Kiki Thole reaches safely. That one will go down as an error.
Smith has been pretty solid up to that point in fielding these ground balls and converting to first base for the outs. Just can't quite field that one cleanly. Was chopping.
2 outs, 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position in Lauren Essman. That's going to bring up Annabelle Wedra. Her last time up was the first batter that Jenna Milan faced, and she hit her with the first pitch. This time, much more refined, called strike in the outside half. Kiki Thole has done a great job in her young Michigan career of just capitalizing on the opportunities that she's given. Hasn't had too many at-bats in her young career, but when she's been called upon, she has delivered. I think back to that Northwestern series last year where she didn't have an at-bat all game, gets thrown in the lineup, and then first time up, knocks a double down the opposite field line. 1-1 pitch on the way to Annabelle Widra. That one changeup low in the dirt. Nice block by D'Ambrosio to keep the runners honest. Aside from those 2 errors early, D'Ambrosio's looked real solid behind the plate. First pitch. That one up near her eyes. It's going to be a 3-1 count. Three-one hitters count on the way to Annabelle Widra. Looking for her first hit of the day and first hit of the season. See what Jenna Milan delivers here. This one hit hard back up the middle, covering a lot of ground. Nice flip to second base.
Oh,
and they're going to call her out. Pretty clear from this angle that second baseman Nichols did not even, the shortstop rather, Von Felt, didn't even step on the base.
Yeah, that definitely, I think, a bit of a missed call there from the umpire. Didn't have the best angle, but from our angle, which was pretty good, it looked like the tag on the base was not made in time. A little bit slow with the flip on the exchange. And Wolverines not going to fret it too much, up 5-0 with Beaubien still dealing. But the crowd did not like it.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you're Michigan, you can't really be too mad at that one.
No.
Because, Kiki Thole was kind of caught dead in her tracks. Like, she didn't really have too much of an opportunity. I mean, the ball was hit hard. They made the play in time. Whether she missed the plate or missed the base by, 4 inches or stepped on it, didn't really matter. They had the out either way. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 due up here for Megan Beaubien.
Might expect this to be Beaubien's last inning, maybe. Looks like there's still some action in the Wolverine bullpen.
Yeah, got somebody down there taking some cuts in the Michigan bullpen. As we saw earlier, Lauren Turkowski was down there getting a little bit of a warm-up in. But, I mean, Beaubien's been absolutely dealing so far.
She's just sitting up there, tossing the ball up and down, just waiting for her next victim. Stone cold killer.
Yeah, she's not bothered at all.
No. 5th-year senior. I mean, this is nothing new to her.
It'll be Finoglio up at the plate now. Her last time up and only time up back in the 2nd inning had a nice single in the shortstop and third base gap. Watches pitch number 1 go by for a call ball number 1. 1-0 on the way is fouled off. Beaubien handcuffed her. That one just sounded awkward. Goes off the handle of the bat on the inside.
That's what Beaubien does. She just makes the hitters uncomfortable, puts them in an awkward situation, and then comes right back with the pitch you're least expecting.
Beaubien's 1-1. Misses just inside. Carson did her best to try and frame it. But home plate umpire Willie Lopez was locked into his call. Bump and Essman on the corners playing even with the bags. McVeigh and Weidra playing a little bit deep in the infield. 2-1 changeup, misses on the outside half, pops out of the glove of Hannah Carson. She's going to quick take a second. Take off the glove, shake off the sweat. And Finoglio has a hitter's count. It's 3-1. Beaubien taking her time, now to the windup. That one bounces well before the plate. Beaubien kind of shakes off her hand, taps her chest, says, my bad.
First walk of the day for Beaubien.
We're going to have a quick timeout. It's going to be a pinch runner that comes in. So Finoglio will head to the bench, and coming in to pinch run for the Kansas City Roos is going to be Katie Slauson.
Slauson with some speed. Look for her to be aggressively trying to take second here.
Slauson didn't have a steal attempt last year, but as you mentioned, you know she's got the wheels. First pitch, big swing and miss. Carson came up ready to gun her. No outs, one strike, one runner on first base in Slauson. We do have a pinch hitter. It's Denning up at the plate. Change up, pop back. Denning was way out in front of that one, but able to put a bat on it, just barely.
Wolverine defense as the corners playing in here.
Big swing and a miss, and down goes Denning. Took a big hack at that rise ball, but Beaubien just blew it by her.
Great awareness by Hannah Carson to immediately, to cleanly catch that and then pop up instantly to prevent the steal attempt.
One out, one runner on over at first base, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Ashley Thorne, as she puts that one just barely foul in right field. Audrey LeClaire still in the game out in right field. Burkhart has moved to center. Lexi Blair to left. Pitch on the way, low and in the dirt. Bounces under the glove of Carson, and Slauson's going to reach safely at second base.
Yeah, Slauson was just looking for that opportunity, and ball in the dirt. She's jumping on that every time.
Thorne trying to get something going here. Grounded out to shortstop in her last time up. But now she's got a runner in scoring position and only one out. Kansas City with potential to put one on the board for the first time today. Beaubien goes back to the changeup on 1-1, and that one is good as gold. So Thorne now in a hole. Beaubien in the driver's seat. 1-2 count. Beaubien back to the changeup, just missing high. Carson tried to frame it. Sun continuing to shine, and it just gets warmer by the minute here.
Definitely a welcome change for all the players on the team as well.
Yeah, I would say. A little bit warmer here than it is in Ann Arbor as Beaubien gets her swinging for strikeout number 8.
Get to practice in the outdoor facilities. Don't have to be in a dome.
Yeah, it's a little bit more ideal.
Got some palm trees around.
Beaubien looking to keep Kansas City scoreless here. 2 outs with a runner in scoring position. First pitch on the way to Garcia, misses just below her knees. Garcia's first and only time up. Beaubien struck her out swinging. Looking to do the same here. This one, low in the dirt. Nice scoop by Hannah Carson. Just to kind of highlight how incredible Megan Beaubien has been today. Back in the top of the 5th inning, we saw some Michigan Wolverines step up to the plate for their 3rd time today. This is only the 2nd time that Garcia has came up.
Yeah, this is this is her 2nd at bat, and we've had almost the entire Wolverine lineup go through 3 hits.
Got a quick meeting on the mound. Beaubien, Hannah Carson just going to take some time. Both sides of the infield meet as well. Bump and McVeigh, Weidra, and Esmond. Mound visit concludes, and we're back ready to go. It's a 2-0 hitters count for Garcia here. She knows Beaubien has to come right to her with a runner in scoring position, going to look to be aggressive. Here's the pitch, big hack. Barely catches a piece.
Was looking to put that one well out into the outfield there. Aggressive swings lately, becoming more and more frequent from the Roos.
Yeah, that ball, she was trying to put it over the Lawler family batting cage. The 2-1 misses high, so she's going to have a 3-1 count again. Garcia will settle back into a hitter's count here. Carson gets the signs from the dugout. Now relays them up to Beaubien. Beaubien shakes off the first, shakes off the second, and Garcia's just going to call time.
Probably the most threatening the Roos have been in a while now with a runner on second.
Beaubien now to the windup on 3-1. This one misses high up near the head of Garcia. Quick ducks away. Beaubien not fazed by it at all. Shakes it off, and she'll go right back to work with the top of the order. It's Nichols. Nichols in her last time up struck out looking.
She got Nichols with that changeup last time.
Twice in a row,
yeah.
Too. Got her to throw sort of a half-hearted attempt at a swing with 1 strike, and then with 2 strikes just froze her. Gets her with the changeup here, pops up over to Taylor Bump, who makes a nice athletic play to jump up and bring Michigan back into the offensive end, with Kansas City still with goose eggs up on the board. The score as we head to top 6, 5-0. In favor of the Michigan Wolverines.
Taylor Bump getting it done on both sides here. Obviously the 2-run home run in the first inning, and then making a couple of really nice defensive plays for the Wolverines. Nothing getting past that third base.
See some discussions in the live chat about, curing some of the past year's shortcomings in terms of timely hitting is the quote that I will use. And yeah, looking back to last season, especially in the latter half, the 2 games that come to mind are those closing games against Washington where, the bats kind of went cold. Obviously, Michigan has the pitching to carry them through rough patches, and Alex Duraco and Megan Beaubien, but to exceed at a high level and compete with teams like the Oklahomas of the world, or really the Washingtons of the world, you can't have too many games where your bats go cold. And I agree with some of the takes here in the live chat where the acquisition of Christina Burkhart could be huge in just kind of filling the gaps. We saw Michigan lose one of their best hitters in Lou Allen, who transferred to Liberty for her graduate season. So there were a lot of pieces to fill, but seems they have stepped up for sure.
Yeah, and a couple of young freshmen coming in that you don't necessarily need all of them to step up in a big way, but if you can just have 1 or 2 that really take a step forward, that can be huge in the team's overall success this season.
Speaking of freshmen, it's going to be Ella McVeigh to start things off. The corner's up. Playing the slap hitter close. First pitch misses high. McVeigh reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning, grounded out her last time up. Now she's got a hitter's count as the second pitch misses low. 2-0. Lexi Blair over there in the on-deck circle. Lexi 0 for 3 on the day, but has been making solid contact. Just can't really seem to find a gap.
Yeah, a couple of flyouts deep into the outfield. Just not finding the gap, and those will come.
2-0 pitch will make it a 3-0 count. McVeigh will most likely just take here. And if you can get McVeigh on early with no outs, that's a recipe for success if you're Michigan. With her speed and just murderer's row coming up in Lexi Blair, Christina Burkhart, Taylor Bump, and Hannah Carson, that is a great place to be. 3-0 pitch misses well high. 4 straight balls from Jenna Milan. And here comes the top of the order with no outs and a runner on base.
And you just mentioned it, that murderer's row of Blair, Burkhart, Bump, Carson. I mean, Blair's got to be due for a hit here. And Burkhart and Bump have both shown tremendous power already today.
As you mentioned, Lexi's been making solid contact all afternoon, just can't quite seem to find the gaps. If she does find one here, though, with the speed of McVeigh on first base, could score from first. Make it 5 straight balls from Jenna Milan as she misses low and outside. Milan taking her time, spinning the ball in the right hand. Now finally goes to the windup. 1-0. Change up on the outside. Catches the corner.
Nice pitch there from Milan. Kind of froze Lexi Blair there with the off speed.
1-1. Blair steps back in. Even with the plate. Even hugging it a little bit. Milan misses low and outside. It'll be 2-1 now. Nice pick there by D'Ambrosio on their forehand side. We mentioned Ella McVeigh's speed over there at first base. The last thing you want is to put her on second base with no outs.
No. That's very true. If you're the Roos, the last thing you want is her getting to second with no outs.
2-1 pitch to Blair. Hit hard right at the second baseman. And Blair goes to 0 for 4. But again, just solid contact.
Yeah, that's not an easy out there. I mean, that was a rocket hit right at the second baseman, and a lot of times that ball can get through.
That'll bring Christina Burkhart up 2 for 3 on the day with a double and a single in the first and third respectively. Scored on both of those and then popped up to center field her last time up. Takes a swing on the first pitch. McVeigh gets in there safely at second. It was a nice throw, nice tag attempt. But a nice slide just on the outside half, avoiding the tag as Burkhart stepped up to the plate. Lauren Durkowski went back to the bullpen in right field. Just threw a couple pitches now coming back in. She's either staying warm if she's called upon or is just getting ready to go back out there. Or go out there for the first time, rather, next inning. After swinging to protect her runner on the first pitch, Burkhart able to watch the 0-1 changeup go up past her eyes. So she's got a 1-1 count here, 1 out, runner in scoring position. It's McVeigh on second base. Milan to the glove, now to the windup. This one, dribbler up the middle. That one's going to get through the infield. McVeigh rounding third base. Throw home is going to go over the catcher's head. And Michigan adds on another one. And Christina Burkhart in familiar territory over there at second base.
And what a coming out party it's been for Christina Burkhart. Just a tremendous showing in this first game. 3 for 4. Couple of doubles, couple of RBIs.
Kansas City is going to bring the whole infield in and and have a meeting on the mound real quick. Michigan 6 runs on 10 hits. They've been pretty spectacular on the offensive end today.
Absolutely, and it's been all areas of the lineup. Obviously, Lexi Blair, like we've mentioned, has not really been struggling, just hasn't quite found the gaps. But all through the lineups, the hits are coming everywhere, and it's been really, really tough for the Roos to get in any kind of rhythm defensively and get consistent outs.
The meeting wraps up. Milan's going to walk to the back of the circle just to collect her thoughts. That'll bring up Taylor Bump for the 4th time today, the 3rd time today that Bump has came up to the plate with Christina Burkhart sitting across from her at second base. Bump with the bat over her right shoulder. First pitch, changeup, catches the outside corner, called strike 1.
And this would be a sight I think a lot of Michigan fans would like to get used to all season, having runner on second with Bump up.
Yeah, absolutely. Burkhart, as you mentioned, having quite the day, 3 for 4. The 0-1 to Taylor Bump. Big swing. Tipped back into the glove of D'Ambrosio. And now Milan is in the driver's seat. 0-2 count, 1 out. Burkhart over there on second base. Both the outfield and infield playing pretty deep. The 0-2, changeup, hit hard at the shortstop and right into her glove. Von Felt didn't even need to move there. Bump hit that one on the seams.
Right at her. Holds the runner at second, too.
In terms of just sheer contact, Michigan's having an incredible day at the plate. Hasn't been able to quite find the gaps that they wanted, but has definitely been making solid contact.
Yeah, they've been putting the ball in play and giving themselves plenty of opportunities to create hits and create scoring opportunities and drive in those runs. And they have done a great job of that, with plenty of those opportunities being fruitful, leading to 10 hits and 6 runs.
We're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Rodriguez stepping in for Hannah Carson. Freshman in that left-handed batter's box. First pitch called strike in the outside half.
The Wolverines continue to throw out a plethora of lefty hitters.
Rodriguez will have to work with an 0-1 count here. 2 outs, runner on second base. It's Christina Burkhart, takes a big swing at that one. The 0-1 changeup avoids every part of her bat.
Nice pitch there from Milan. Got to get in some kind of a rhythm here.
Correction, Rodriguez, the sophomore, a switch hitter batting from the left side right now. She's got an 0-2 count. Milan trying to retire the side. That one upstairs, ball 1.
The Wolverines have just been consistently hitting the ball, like we said, consistently putting the ball in play. I mean, 2 runs in the first, then 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. All the scoring hasn't come in 1 inning. It's just been consistent chipping away by the Wolverines.
The 1-2 changeup hit hard towards center field and right at Hillbrenner. The theme of solid contact, but hitting it right to the defense continues. We're going to head to bottom 6, but Michigan able to put another one up on the board. 6 runs on 10 hits through now 6 innings. Kansas City, it is go time.
Yeah. If any time is the time is now, because going down the stretch, the Wolverines, you've got to imagine, are going to put up at least 1 more in this next inning, the way things have been going. Being in a 6-0 hole as is already tough enough.
And it is going to be a pitching change for the Michigan Wolverines. So stepping out into the circle for the first time this season, and for the first real appearance in her young Michigan career, it's the freshman from Elmhurst, Illinois, Lauren Durkowski. We saw Durkowski back in October, and she looked good in her limited action. She got big shoes to fill, though, stepping in for Megan Bobian. Throw down from Hannah Carson, and we are set to go. So the freshman's going to have the meat of the order here. It's Hillbrenner, Smith, Von Felt, 2, 3, 4, followed by D'Ambrosio, Slauson, Carnes, Thorne, and Garcia to round it out before heading to the top of the order. Only 2 hits so far today for the Roos, and Hillbrenner's got one of them. Back in the first inning, the bloop single into shallow center field. She's going to look to get things going here in the later innings for her Kansas City Roos.
Durkowski gets to start off with the best hitter for the Roos and Hillbrenner.
Durkowski wasting no time messing around. Goes right to the rise ball on pitch number 1 and blows it by Hillbrenner. The 0-1 pitch on the way from Durkowski goes back to it again, and that one called strike 2. Here's some boos from the Kansas City side. That one might have been a little high up in the zone. But Durkowski coming out and being aggressive, something you love to see if you're a Michigan Wolverines fan. Taking her time now, checks the wristband. 0-2 pitch on the way. That one just misses outside. One-two pitch. Durkowski spins the ball on the right hand, checking again. Now to the windup. This one, changeup, dribbled towards third base, but it's going to go foul. Action out in the Michigan bullpen. It's Alex Storacco most likely warming up for the game following this one against Illinois State. That game originally scheduled for 12:30. Might start a little bit later as it's almost noon here, and this one not wrapped up yet. Durkowski goes back to the rise ball on 1-2. That one well high, so they'll leave him back out, 2-2. Infield playing pretty much straight up. 2-2 to Hillbrenner. That one's at the knees, and she caught her looking.
Hot start there from Durkowski. Taking the best hitter on Kansas City and sending her back to the dugout.
Yeah, that's something to get your confidence up. In your first real pitching appearance in college, you strike out a .350 hitter and strike her out looking. Goes to the changeup on the first pitch to Smith and gets her to swing and miss.
Yeah, she's continuing to deal here early.
Durkowski taking her time, checks the wristband. Now to the windup on 1-0, another changeup and another swing and miss. The freshman is dealing right now.
And Smith was just way out ahead on that one.
What do you think here? You've tricked her on 2 changeups in a row. Do you try to blow it by her or just stick with what's working? The 0-2 goes to the rise ball. Misses high and outside.
I think you try to go back to that changeup, honestly. Had some success with it. Clearly, she's not sitting on it.
A lot of pressure on that front leg from Smith. The pitch from Durkowski rides inside and fouled back. Durkowski's got such a quick windup. That coupled with the fact that as she's showing, her changeup is very, very good. Has the velocity. Has a promising career ahead of her as the rise ball popped up, just getting over the head of Annabelle Widra.
Talk about finding the gaps. That's exactly what that is right there. It's just kind of roping one right over the infield and just short of the center fielder.
That one just a feat of strength from the third baseman, Lexi Smith. Dorkowski kind of handcuffed her a little bit, and Smith still able to put it just barely out of the infield, just barely out of Annabelle Weedra's reach. Bounces right back, though, with a called strike one on the outside half. That'll bring up Von Felt, struck out her last time up swinging. Dorkowski out and head. 0-1. One out, and Smith over there on first base. Goes right back to attack, misses barely inside. Strike zone today's been very tight but very consistent. Willie Lopez doing a great job back there behind the plate. Deep breath from Dorkowski. The windup, change up on the outside half. Carson looked over towards first base, trying to keep Smith honest. Infield and outfield playing straight up. Blair, Dorkowski, and Audrey LeClaire left to right in the outfield. That one, single right through the gap between Taylor Bump and McVeigh. Correction, that was Burkhart in center field. So after sitting down the first batter, Dorkowski's given up 2 singles, but the freshman does look very good out there.
Absolutely, sure. She's looked really solid, in command of her pitches, and doing a great job kind of feathering in the off speed with the rise ball, and just doing a great job so far.
Fresh count on the way to D'Ambrosio. That one misses a little high and inside. So Kansas City might be able to put something together here. 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position, and only 1 out. With 5, 6, 7 coming up in the lineup. That one battles right back, called strike 1 across the letters. Illinois State is ready to go. Have changed out of the warm-ups into their uniforms. Red jerseys, white pants, black socks. The 1-1 from Dorkowski catches the outside corner. Nice frame by Hannah Carson.
There's a couple of USF Bulls players up here getting a little scouting done. Watching the Wolverines, watching the Roos.
Deep breath from Dorkowski. The 1-2 delivery. Gets her swinging. And talk about a huge pitch from the freshman. You go from 1 out, 2 runners on to now 2 outs.
It's just great composure, great focus, not being phased.
Now you don't need that double play to get you out of the jam. You can do it all yourself here.
Big time strikeout there. At this point in the game, that's what the coaching staff is looking for and wants to see from their young freshmen.
Finoglio has re-entered. So Slauson, who pinch ran for her, will go back to the dugout. Finoglio had a single earlier in this one that just barely snuck through the infield, but now she's down 0-2 as Dorkowski has made her foul off 2 in a row. Great spot to be in if you're Lauren Dorkowski. 0-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Looking to get out of a jam. Misses just outside. Finoglio, 6 home runs last year. She showed off her power before. Can't leave anything over the plate for her to drive. 1-2 pitch, foul back again. The count will stay the same.
And the Roos, similar to last inning, they have runners on first and second, but couldn't create anything out of it last time, and Dorkowski is going to look to shut them down yet again.
1-2 pitch from Dorkowski. Rise ball. Misses outside the zone. Carson jumps up to keep the runners on first and second. It's a tough spot to be in right now if you're Lauren Durkowski, because you want to just go at Finoglio and punch her out and don't have to worry about the base runners at all. But if you leave a ball over the plate, a great power hitter like Finoglio is going to make you pay. She
check swing there.
Carson appeals down to the third base umpire. Says she was safe, so it's a 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Correction, full count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Durkowski, changeup, gets the dribbler right back at her, throws over to first base, and the freshman gets herself out of the jam.
Nice and easy.
Great composure there by Lauren Durkowski. 2 strikeouts and does the last one herself. We're going to head to the top of the 7th inning. Michigan looking to add on a couple more insurance runs. For Kansas City, has to be disheartening to leave 2 runners on base there.
That's back-to-back innings they've done that. Last inning, with Bobian, the Roos got runners on first and second and still couldn't convert. To do that back-to-back innings and come away with nothing, it's tough.
It's going to be Milan back out there in the circle. She's done a nice job since entering in the 4th inning. Kept the Wolverines scoreless in her first inning of work. Gave up 1 in her last 2 innings. It's going to be Audrey LeClaire to lead off. 5, 6, 7, LeClaire, Essman, then Kiki Thole, followed by Annabelle Wedra and Ella McVeigh before heading to the top of the order, back to Lexi Blair. LeClaire entered as a pinch runner, so this will be her first at-bat of the day and of the season, and in the on-deck circle. Talk about hot bats in this Michigan lineup. First one, Christina Burkhart, and the second one, Lauren Essman. 3 for 3 on the day with 2 doubles.
Absolutely. She has done a great job of kind of cleaning up anything left over from that the top of the lineup. Drove in a couple runs and has put the team at put the bottom of the lineup in a position to succeed as well. Just being on base and putting the Wolverines in chances to score.
LeClaire only 6 at-bats last year, typically used as a pinch runner, but looking to show us what she can do on the offensive end right here. First pitch to the slap hitter up near her eyes for ball number 1. Milan, you can see a little frustrated. Taking her time, now set to deliver the 1-0. Claire put the bat on it, but a little bit too far outside, dribbles it backwards towards the net. So here in the top of the 7th inning, Michigan up 6-0. No outs, no runners on. And a 1-1 count to Audrey LeClaire. Milan's pitch just below the knees for ball number 2. Illinois State waiting patiently out there just beyond the left field fence. Game number 2 will start a little bit later than originally scheduled. It was originally scheduled for 12:30, but this game's still yet to wrap up.
Yeah, I got to give the Redbirds some time to get out on the field and warm up a little bit. I know the Wolverines are already primed and ready to go.
Make it a 3-1 count as that last pitch skips up into the glove of D'Ambrosio. Hitters count here. LeClaire settles in. 3-1 over the plate. Dribbled back towards Milan at first base. It's going to be a tough play and barely getting her.
Nice extension by the first baseman, Garcia. Able to keep one toe on the bag and reach all the way out to haul that one in.
Yeah, if Garcia doesn't stretch like that for that ball, Audrey LeClaire reaches safe all day. With her speed, already had her running head start. It's a tough play for any defense as soon as she puts it in play. Essman takes a big swing at pitch number 1 and dribbles it foul down the left side.
Just continuing to make great contact with the ball. Doesn't quite make it in the field of play, but just been seeing the ball really, really well today.
So you mentioned Essman, 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Doubled and scored in the second inning, had a single in the third, and had an RBI double back in the 5th. Looking for more here on the 0-1 count. Hits this one hard, the opposite way over towards Michigan dugout. Jen Brundage making a nice play over there at first base.
Always got to shout out the base coaches.
It's an 0-2 count for the red-hot bat of Lauren Essman. Settling in now. That one well outside. That one a waste pitch from Jenna Milan. Here Milan just looking to get your team back in on the offensive end. They've got a lot of work to do already. Want to keep Michigan scoreless here so you don't put any extra pressure on yourself. This one hit hard on the ground towards second base. Nice little flip over to first. And Essman is going to head back to the dugout for the first time today. Now, most likely end of the day, 3 for 4.
Still a solid, very, very solid day from her at the plate. Can't ask for much more than that. 3 for 4 and 2 doubles.
So with 2 outs and nobody on, that's going to bring up Kiki Thole. Had a single in her first time up. First pitch, low and outside in the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, both Burkhart and Essman, 3 for 4 on the day. What a great start to both the season and this invitational. Thole takes a big swing on the 1-0. This one back to the warning track and into the glove of Ashley Thorne. So for the second time today, Jenna Milan holds the Wolverines scoreless. We're going to head to bottom of the 7th inning, and Kansas City has some work to do. 6 to tie and send it to extras. 7 for the win.
Yeah, it was a solid inning there from Milan. Got 2 ground balls, nice and easy, and then the fly out there at the end. Wolverines likely done for the day offensively.
It's going to be Lauren Durkowski back in the circle as the freshman looks to follow up a successful last inning by getting her team back in the dugout to refresh for the game following this one against Illinois State. The defensive lineup is the same. Left to right in the outfield is Blair, Burkhart, and LeClaire. Left to right in the infield, it's Bump, McVeigh, Wedra, and Essman, with Lauren Durkowski in the circle and Hannah Carson behind the plate. If you're just tuning in, we would like to thank you for listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball live here from the USF-Rawlings Invitational down in Florida. While coverage of this game is almost wrapped up, make sure to stick around because we've got another one coming up right after this one. It'll be Illinois State, and then tomorrow, Michigan with matchups against both Florida and USF. First pitch from Durkowski in the bottom of the 7th inning is low and in the dirt, scooped up by Hannah Carson. Goes right back to the rise ball here and misses once again, so Carnes is going to have a 2-0 hitters count. Marina Carnes in only her second plate appearance, only her second at-bat of the day. Struck out looking her first and only time up back in the 2nd inning. Change up there.
Great pitch. Perfect time for the changeup. Hit him with a little bit of that off speed.
Durkowski able to buy herself one back there. 2-1 count, no outs. Goes to the changeup again, leaves it a bit short. Nice block by Hannah Carson. 3-1 hitters count here for Marina Carnes. And if you're Kansas City, you cannot afford to waste any of these opportunities. Down 6 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And the other thing is the Wolverines' defense has been tremendous outside of their great pitching. Obviously, Taylor Bump we've highlighted on a couple occasions, making some big plays in the infield, but it's been there haven't been any real mistakes by the Wolverine defense, and that's been huge for them to hold the Roos to 0 so far.
3-1 pitch misses, so Carnes is going to trot on down to first base. 1 runner on and no outs. That's going to bring up Thorne. 0 for 2 on the day. She watches the first one go by. Ball number 1. Struck out her last time up, swinging in the 5th inning. It's 8-9 top. Thorne, Garcia's in the on-deck circle. Then we head back to Nichols at the top of the order. Changeup, nice pitch. Just missing inside. Might have been called a strike, if not for popping out of Hannah Carson's glove back there. Again, as I mentioned before, can't waste these hitters' count opportunities. 2-0 pitch on the way from Durkowski. Big swing and a miss. Durkowski not messing around with any fancy off-speed there, just going right at Thorne.
And Durkowski, the freshman, showing off her stuff early. I mean, she has impressed so far.
Gets her swinging again. Carson throws down to first base. It's a close play, but Carnes not too far off. Nice job by Carson, though, keeping her honest. Correction, the count now 2-1. That one fouled back. They'll even it out 2-2. So Kansas City, potential to put something together here. It's a 2-2 count to your 8-hitter, Marina Carnes, over there on first base after walking. Just as I say that, down goes Thorne. Nice pitch in the outside half. Durkowski gets her swinging.
Yeah, just put it just out of reach there. Making Thorne reach a little bit across the plate, out of her comfort zone.
Durkowski checks the wristband and then attacks. That one a called strike at the knees to Caitlin Garcia. Garcia walked her last time up, struck out her first time up back in the 3rd inning. 1 out, 1 runner on. Is that one another pitch at the knees? That one called a ball. Looks like it was just below. When you look at the comparison between these two teams hitting today, Michigan 10 for 31 on the game. Kansas City just 4 for 23.
And those 2 errors from Kansas City had a big impact on this game. I mean, the Wolverines got a couple of runs from that. Only 4 RBIs credited to Michigan.
Durkowski gets Garcia to chase on 1-1. Goes right back to the same pitch and sits her down on 1-2.
Wow. Durkowski is showing off right now.
After walking Marina Carnes on 5 pitches to start this inning off, she has just gone into attack mode. Struck out Thorne and Garcia, and now she's got the top of the order with 2 outs and a 6-run lead. First pitch called a strike in the outside.
And you can tell from her body language, she's feeling good right now. She's in a rhythm. 4 strikeouts now through almost 2 full innings.
Deep breath. Now to the windup on 1-0. Or 0-1, correction. She gets her swinging again. Lauren Durkowski and the Michigan Wolverines are just 1 strike away from victory in this contest and their first win of the 2022 season. Carnes over on first base. Deep breath from Durkowski. The delivery on the outside corner, just missing.
Wow. I was waiting for the signal from the umpire there. I thought she just painted that edge.
Every single person in maize and blue here at USF collectively held their breath on that one. Looking to get it here. The 1-2 delivery from Durkowski. Just low, pops out of the glove of Carson. Lauren Durkowski looking to make this one a little bit more interesting than I'd like here. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Durkowski's got a 6-run cushion, but looking to keep it scoreless. The delivery. Swung on and missed! And down goes Nichols. Lauren Durkowski comes in relief of Megan Bobian and closes this one out.
5 strikeouts down the stretch in these last 2 innings for Durkowski. Strikes out the side in the 7th inning.
What a battle from the freshman. Comes in the bottom of the 7th inning, walks the first hitter on 5 pitches, and then, as you mentioned, Kelin, strikes out the next 3. An impressive outing. And Michigan has all sorts of momentum as we roll over into Illinois State in a little bit here.
Yeah, Illinois State, obviously a little bit of a stronger program than Kansas City, but the Wolverines definitely still the favorites in this one, and we'll look to take care of business before USF and Florida tomorrow.
The key players in this one, Christina Burkhart, 3 for 4 on the day with 2 runs. Add in a double, she got things started. That stand-up double in the first inning to get things opened up for the Wolverines. Taylor Bump followed that one up by knocking the home run over the right center wall. Also going 3 for 4 today, Lauren Essman, toss in 2 doubles and an RBI. It was an impressive day at the plate for Michigan. 10 for 31. And then talk about the pitching. Megan Bobian gets her first win of the day, or first win of the season rather. Through 5 innings, had 8 strikeouts, only 2 walks. And Lauren Durkowski, 5 strikeouts and 2 innings of work, as we mentioned, strikes out the side to end it. All in all, an impressive game for Michigan and a great one to start your season on.
Absolutely. Can't ask for anything more than that. Obviously, this was a game the Wolverines were favored in. But they took care of business. They played really well. The bats were alive. Strong pitching from Bobian, which was expected, and then the freshman Durkowski coming in and making a statement in her first collegiate appearance. So definitely a lot to be excited about. The transfer, Burkhart, showing off her talents in the maize and blue. And then a big game from Essman as well, like you mentioned.
Yeah, what a morning it was. But with that, that's going to conclude WCBN Sports coverage of this matchup of Michigan softball between the Michigan Wolverines and the Kansas City Roos. This broadcast will end, but shortly starting up will be the matchup against Illinois State. Again, we would like to thank you all for tuning in to our coverage. None of this would be possible without you all. We'd like to just thank you for your continued support and engagement. But until next time, I have been Charlie Brigham alongside me, Kelin Flynn. We'll see you in a little bit for the matchup against Illinois State. But until then, we'll leave you with a good afternoon and a Go Blue.